See if we can get a little music. One of the decent ones. That's not bad. Now we just have to get it to a sensible level. All right, we got Dave, GRC, Ella Paul, Cisco, Audrey, and let me know if the audio is good or if it's complete suck. Because I think I've got my AirPods working again. It's very exciting. Howard. Let's see. Jen. Deborah. Uh-oh. It just skipped screens. Hold on. Megador. Tiffany. Paula. What's going on? Bonaventure TV. What up? Oh, for those of you who saw on my Twitter, I put a link to a game that I played with Thunder. He's one of my buddies that I played. Click on it. It's pretty cool. Anyway. Dan. Brady. Brian. And let's see. Andy. All right. Cool. Thomas, what's going on? All right, cool. So we got a fun little impromptu, although it's not really impromptu anymore because we've been doing it like every week now, but crypto and cardio. Woo-woo! So, okay, I can see your chats. I can see your messages. All right, good. So the way we'll do it, we'll just do basic questions. Dan, is it? Well, I'm very limited in what I can do with this. You know, I'm running it through a phone, and I'm both running it through a phone and through the internet because the Wi-Fi here at the gym is complete trash. I can try switching to the oh, it was good and now it's bad. Let me see. I can try just using the regular microphone, but we did that last week and it wasn't so great, if you guys remember. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to take my AirPods out and I'll kind of put them back in, see if it gets better. If it doesn't, then we'll just use the regular phone mic, which should be, you know, as good as it's going to be. So hold on. Here we go. Experiment. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So if let me see. Let me go into settings. Audio. It says AirPods, and it says that I have good. It says that it's working. So, all right. Well, this may be what we got. We got what we got. Let me know if that's any better or the same. It says it's better, but I don't know. I'm without, because I don't get any feedback. This is just straight input. When I do the shows with the full setup, obviously you get some feedback and you know what your other people are hearing. Okay. Not bad, but a little crackly. Not any better. Audio's in Japanese. Let me see. Worse, maybe. I mean, I can go without. Here, let's just go without. Let's just see what going without does. Give me 2 seconds. Let's go here. All right, let's just try it with the microphone of the camera. And no, it's going to be a little echoey, is my guess. So you tell me. All right. I can maybe turn it sideways. Let's see. Maybe that's better. Are we better? Are we winning? Have we started winning yet? Woo! Yeah, it's going to be echoey because I'm in an echoey place. Yeah, maybe I can get it less echoey. I don't know. All right. So let's do this. You know what? I just won't have that silky smooth voice. It'll just be Jim voice without the silky smoothness. So what we'll do, ask a question, and you put a little question, and then we'll take a stab at it. Woo woo! Oh, and also, if you want me to keep these up, if you want me to keep these videos up, I have to have at least as many likes as there were people that watched. I don't care about the people after, but the people that are watching while it's live, you got to at least put a like. And then the world is a better place. And yeah, Tiffany, you're not going to get a honey sweet voice with an iPhone, unfortunately. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. I wonder if I could flip the phone upside down. Let's see. No, it only goes. I can flip it 90 degrees. That may be better. Let's see. See if this sounds a little bit better. It's flipped 90. 90 may be the key. Bitcoin Candy. What's going on? Let's see. All right, Tower BJJ, what up? See if I can get your comment on it. Okay, so there we go. So then this will be our new system, y'all. We'll go sideways. I just have to keep my thumb real little to get in there and reach the buttons. Okay. So let's do this. Ask your questions, put a little cue. Static gone. Woo woo! Yeah, I guess the static was the headphones. Maybe I can get a better set of headphones other than AirPods. Oh, because you know what? They're doing Wi-Fi. Everything is like Wi-Fi. It's not a hardline connection. So maybe a set of wire headphones probably solves that trick. Anyway, cool. Okay, so yes, market's doing quite well, which is weird because we are we're going into worldwide recession. However, the cryptocurrency space, for whatever reason, it seems to know about where the markets are going about a year before they go there. So who knows? I don't think we're out of the woods yet, but I do think you could see $35,000 or $45,000 Bitcoin before we enter some kind of massive hysteria, chaos. Now, on the one hand, the world economy looks like total dog mess. And on the other hand, what's strange is that people are through the kind of reverse, like, okay, if the world goes into chaos, the Fed's going to stop raising rates. They're going to cut rates. And then equity markets will boom. And all those things are correct, but broken. The Fed doesn't do anything, and it doesn't use real money. So nothing the Fed does actually affects anything other than some investment psychology. And then you have the portfolio effect where, portfolios will change as a result of the assumption of various Federal Reserve strategies, none of which have any effect in the real world. So it is weird. And we always think, okay, WWDD, what would dummies do? Well, one way to get out of that line of thinking where we don't have to constantly think about what idiots are doing, because that really is just a not great way for us to think about and visualize the near-term future. So the way we do it is we say, okay, why don't we just think about where the world's going and invest that way? Or at least think that way. That's why it becomes so important to look at, to have your, if your investment vehicle, you're in your car, you want to be looking out the windshield, and you don't want to be looking at the street right in front of the car. You want to be looking as far out in front of the car as possible, and that lets you navigate whatever's in the road. So I think you need to have 12 to 18 month vision at the very, very least. And if you're having 12 to 18 month vision, that's pushing you towards artificial intelligence. I mean, you have to be a jackwagon ostrich with your head in the sand to not be paying attention to what just the effects that GPT. Just think GPT and Midjourney, and let me know in the chat. Have you messed around with Chat GPT? Say, let me know yes or no, like GPT yes or no, and Midjourney yes or no. These little images, like the boxing gloves and the new Our Digital Heavyweights logo, those were created on Midjourney in about 60 seconds. Isn't that interesting? I mean, it's just kind of cool. Howard, you've been doing it nice. Joseph, what up? 2 braids. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So Joseph, you've been messing with it. Tiffany, yes. Eric, what have you been doing, man? You gotta get on there and play around. Yes. Audrey, Jesus, yes. Got a bit Midjourney. Midjourney is a lot of fun. Now listen, hopefully you've been using more time on Chat GPT than Midjourney. Like a source of interesting information. Remember, caveat this with Chat GPT stopped inputting new data in 2021, so its corpus of data leads up to 2021, but it doesn't go any further than that. So just bear that in mind. I will tell you something interesting. So I'm using it for all the factual parts of my negotiations. So when I negotiate anything, I go to ChatGPT. Well, actually, I go to the back door of ChatGPT, which is just OpenAI Playground. For those of you that want to mess with it, go to OpenAI Playground, and you'll get all the GPT functionality without all the little prompts and all the nonsense. And I've been using that like when I negotiate with clients and all this kind of stuff. I just go right to GPT and I say, okay, what about this? What should this be worth? What should I charge? What should the terms be? I'm like, if GPT says it's cool and it's not some whimsy response, you want to read it before you respond. Don't just blankly respond. For instance, don't have Chat GPT or just GPT 3.5 write you a letter to your boss and then you just copy and paste it. You want to spell check it. You want to content review it and make sure that you didn't fat thumb the question or ask it wrong. But the better you learn to ask precise, precision-based questions, the better responses you're going to get. And it's very valuable. And you'll learn quickly that if you're not messing around with GPT and realizing that 2023 is going to be a very, I hope it's not a rude awakening, but it's probably going to be a pretty rude awakening for a lot of people. And I've said this for a bit, but if you can describe your job, if you can describe it, put it into words, a robot's going to do it. So you have to prepare for the eventuality that you're going to be, at the very least, working alongside the robots. If that's not part of your thinking about the near-term future, you need to do a little gut check. And you need to go play around with GPT. You need to go look at, was it Synestia? I did a video, 2 weeks ago, where we went through 7 really good websites that are AI-based. From ones that produce video, like they actually have humans, like a human synthetic that will sit there and talk to you. And there's all sorts of stuff. And now there's just tons of these AI products coming. So I would just be very aware that if you can describe your job, a robot's going to do it. If that's the case, you either need to be invested in the robots, which is kind of the way I'm approaching it, You need to be leveraging the robots to help you better as a person, which is how I'm leveraging. And at the very, very, very least, you need to understand, the abilities of these bits of narrow AI software and how all of this competition is going to reduce the fee structure. See, that's another thing. You look at what Microsoft did when they put $10 billion into OpenAI. You say, oh man, they're gonna have to get all this revenue. Well, not really, not directly. If they add GPT functionality to all that is Microsoft, that creates a very, very elegant fix to probably a lot of their internal issues. I mean, they probably looked for just tons and tons of places, or they're looking for where GPT makes sense to be the kind of the brain or the information engine or the public communication engine for Microsoft. So part of the deal, I don't know if you guys know this, but part of the deal with Microsoft and OpenAI is they basically own 49% with their $10 billion investment. They get the rights to the next, to 79 cents per dollar until they've recouped $1 trillion in revenue. Because the way they have OpenAI has the thing where you're maxed out at 100x return. So, you think, well, how are they going to get that trillion back? Well, it's not immediately clear that they're ever going to get that trillion back. Because you have all these other products launching. They're not the only ones doing it. Matter of fact, SingularityNet and NewNet and that whole ecosystem are working on decentralized, open source, GPT functional systems, large language learning models and things like this that will be, next to free, or at least much, much, much cheaper. And so this becomes a race to zero type of a game where all of these companies are going to have to reduce fees. These services are going to have to be super cheap. So it's very exciting, just to kind of see where this is all going. Hoop and Tony. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. The AI cat's out of the bag. And the thing, we've been talking about this for what? Brady, you remember back, we've been talking about this since 2020. And you had the first big run in AGIX when everything else ran in 2021. And then the precipitous sell-off. If people don't look at the world right now and then look at these AI plays, and to that I also mean distributed data. You need to go beyond the obvious AI plays. But if this isn't so obvious, man, I don't know. I guess there's just going to be a lot of people that get left behind, and then they'll go, I don't know what happened. I never had a chance. Or they'll say that we got lucky or this or that. Especially if we go into a scenario where people that didn't prepare for this, they didn't get to ride along for the AI, the investment AI part of the journey, and then they get displaced by narrow AI products. Boy, would you be pissed. Because there may not be another get back in these markets. If we're moving towards a singularity or a moment of where AI, artificial intelligence, becomes artificial general intelligence and some kind of, and then eventually spawning from that some kind of digital super intelligence or whatever they label it. What do you think that humans are going to be trading? Do you think humans are going to be investing? We're out. We're out of the picture. So I think the last great chance for humans to really, make some multiple scores with portfolios as we know it is on the way there. Because once we're there, human intervention in markets just won't exist. It would just be silly. You wouldn't have a bunch of third graders, grading SATs or evaluating, people that are candidates for their doctorate. That would make no sense. And that would be us. So, okay. Let's see what we got. Brady, question. Has the exotic car rental business seen any dips recently, or is it Lambo's? Oh, well, you know what's weird? The really rich people are still really rich. And the kind of people that want to go around and floss with high-end cars, they still floss with high-end cars. So we haven't really seen a slowdown. Now, we do see a seasonal slowdown, typically between, up to New Year, people are renting cars like crazy. And then we typically see it quiet for about a month, a month and a half during, the lead up to February, to March, excuse me, which is spring break time. And then things just get crazy. So we haven't seen much of a slowdown, just the typical kind of seasonal stuff. And this is when we will spend more time getting the cars cleaned up, getting everything serviced, brakes, oil, put the cars up on lifts and look at them and make sure, because a lot of these cars are, there's a lot of carbon fiber underneath these things. So we want to get in there and make sure there's no cracks or wear or anything like that. But yeah, so we just focus on maintenance. We focus on portfolio balance. But yeah, we've been good. Let's see. I'm actually about to, I'm making a transition here in about a month and a half. Whenever the car comes in, I'm switching from my Lambo to a hybrid. So I'll put the Huracan in service as a rental, and then I'll be switching to a hybrid. I'm gonna do my part to save the world. Let's see, Andy says, it's so crazy yesterday when I checked Livecoin and everything was red except for 24-hour price, except for our AI. Yeah, I mean, I think the AI sector and also distributed data, big data, is its own kind of baby market within a market. And while the greater space, Bitcoin included, is probably going to rise and fall with the vacillations of the greater macro arguments, AI is eating the whole world. And I just think right now, it's a separate vacuum. It's its own market. And I'm not at all worried about holding. That's why people are like, well, what do you think about if the market should crash and all this kind of stuff? Do you think that the people that are investing in AI and big data give a shit what the Federal Reserve does at all? Does anybody here really care at all about what the Federal Reserve does, about what a bunch of squawking octogenarian politicians do? I mean, be honest. You hear it, it's occurring, but does anyone here really care? So, I don't. Maybe you do. I don't. But yeah, I think that this space is a completely separate new space. See, yeah, no, hell no. No, absolutely not. Yeah, exactly. And so I think we're in a safe space. Now, it's not to say that these markets won't sell off. They've gone really far, really fast. But I don't think they've achieved anything near fair value. And I keep, every day that AGIX doesn't go up, I feel like, okay, cool. I got a little more time. I've got a stay of execution. I'll get in. I'll get in here soon. And so I kind of like it. I don't feel like I'm invested yet to the point where I'm satisfied. So I've got some more of that on my brain. Chad, Jeffrey, Alan, Nick, in order to get the airdrops for AGIX and MetaMask, do I have to connect the wallet somewhere? No, not right now. What you will do is you'll just connect it and do a handshake where you basically say, this is my MetaMask wallet. These are my AGIX tokens. And it's going to do, so what they do is they do these snapshots of the entire network. And then you just have to say, when you did the snapshot, and they don't tell you, by the way, they do random snapshots so that people aren't trading in and out. And listen, let me just preface. If you guys have AGIX in your MetaMask wallets and you're getting airdrops, don't move the tokens. If you move the tokens, you may lose the airdrop. Oh, you'll have the ones that you already received. But basically the process is they do snapshots, random snapshots to see who's got what in what accounts. You then do basically 2 handshakes. Well, you do a handshake and say, yes, that's my wallet. Those are my tokens. And that's how you kind of sign up for the airdrop. You don't send them anything or anything. Then you simply do a transaction a few weeks later or whenever they set the date to claim. You go to the website, push a little claim button. You'll connect your wallet so that it knows it's you. You'll do a tiny transaction, and it will push those tokens into your MetaMask wallet. Pretty cool, right? So, yeah. And I agree. I think we will win big. Oh, anytime you're way, way early, you don't know how early you are. Look, we were investing and talking about AI for 2 years, and no one was, except Elon Musk at random events. And you got to pay attention to what the smartest people on earth are talking about. Whether you like him or hate him, he has meaningfully moved humanity forward. So, yeah. You listen to Elon, you listen to Ben Gortzel, you listen to Charles, you listen to the whole team over. I mean, there's a lot of intelligent people you can be listening to. And then if you're lazy, you can just come listen to me because I listen to all those people. But I digress. Yeah, I think we win big. I also think that it's going to be a very interesting and maybe heartbreaking victory when some of us win really, really well. We do really well off this, and a lot of people are left in some kind of weird post-human investment world where there may not be big chances to hit multiples again. I mean, going into a world of universal basic income because people's jobs have been replaced by software. I mean, you can do the mental math. It's not going to be that long. They've already, the layoffs right now, don't be confused. Google having layoffs, Microsoft having layoffs, Amazon having layoffs is not directly related to AI. I don't think it's related to AI at all. It's related to they bought into the inflation bullshit and they overhired, overstaffed, overordered, overproduced. And now they have egg on their face and they got to cut workforces. And look, even there, the crypto community was cutting workforces sooner. It's like they knew it before the others knew it. Look when Coinbase started doing layoffs. They were ahead of the curve. As much as I don't like Brian Armstrong. Okay. Andy asks, question. Is the next AGI staking starting tomorrow? You can just go to SingularityNet and they have all the dates for that. I just leave mine in there. I just let them roll over. I have a bunch of different wallets. Every 250, I try to put in a new wallet, and I just spread them out. It also spreads out in case someone tries to hack me or something, or not hack me, to con me into disclosing my private passphrase or keywords, which we don't want to do. Key phrase, passwords, whatever. You got to be careful. Everybody's out to get you all the time. But yeah, if it starts tomorrow, it does. I just leave them in there and let them roll over. How is Microsoft? Thank you for the question, Diana. How's Microsoft going to make money with ChatGPT? Just functionality. We kind of addressed that a little bit earlier. Just functionality, but it also forces. I don't know if Microsoft. I think Microsoft FOMO'd into this investment. I think if they had sat back and considered, they may have wanted to look at the entire ecosystem and the possibility that an open source solution would be making its way down the pipe. But let's all thank Microsoft, because look at all the good publicity and the good, kind of focus that we've gotten because of them. Thank you, Bill and company, or whoever the hell's at the helm there. Let's see. At what price do you suggest to re-enter AGIX? Joseph, you shouldn't really be entering and re-entering. You should be dollar cost averaging in or dollar cost averaging out. Those would be my only, the rules. If at a 10x, you take 20%. Every 2x after that, you take 10%. That's just a hard rule that I am always following and never deviating from, so that when these markets do contract, you put some money on the sidelines. So even if you got AGIX at the very lowest, which was what, 2.9 cents, so several months ago, 3 cents, you're still not at a sellout yet. We haven't hit 30 cents. So you're not even at your first bump. So, and these are assets. I mean, look at the market cap of AGIX. It's tiny. It's so tiny. I mean, do you compare AGIX and what they're doing with any of these other token projects? Compare it with Dogecoin. Do you think AGIX has more value than freaking Dogecoin or Shiba Inu? And if so, then you know that it's several $billion. You put a several $billion market cap on these tokens, and you get tokens anywhere from $2 to $50. I mean, we just don't know where this thing will go, but we know the world's going AI. Let's see. Question. Tiffany asks, any idea when AGIX will be able to move? No, I don't have any data on when we'll be able to stake through Daedalus. My guess is that the staking would occur via Singularity DAO, because it seems like that's their platform. So even if there's interaction with the Cardano network, my guess is, well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know how that interaction will look. You'll probably be able to do it in a variety of ways. So the jury's still out. No answers yet. No hard answers. Question. How many FOMO calls have you gotten from the smarter whales you respect? Surprisingly, they're still not really paying attention to AI. One of the problems with people that have a lot of money, the Novogratz crew and all those idiots, is they believe that because they have money, they start to believe that they created it. Not that they got it from investors, not that it's not their money, because it's not their money, and they got it from investors. And not that it's merit-based, because it's not merit-based, because they've all failed in huge fashion. They just believe, hey, I'm Novo. We manage $1 billion. We are fancy. We know everything. And nothing is a market until we decide it's a market. And that, my friends, is self-serving, completely flawed, biased bull smoke. And that's why those guys like to believe they're early to the party, but they are late. That's why those guys invested in FTX. That's why those guys invested in Luna. That's why those guys lent money to Three Arrows Capital. That's why those guys had money at Celsius. Like, go down the list of all of the flawed thinking that these big fund idiots have done, and you realize they're all idiots. It sucks to say it, but these guys are all idiots. They're well-intentioned, but they are idiots. They're grasping at straws. Only their hubris prevents them from doing any real research. I won't speak out of school, but I've been telling these guys about this stuff for years. So let's just say that. Okay, question from Brady. Do you think the concept of staking could be a monetary phenomenon feature for digital assets moving forward? Well, no. I think it could be conflated for dividends, but remember, digital assets are not equity, at least not these. And staking is not a dividend. Staking is participation. Now, this kind of loose staking where you're locking or unlocking tokens for some period of time to kind of lock up the price, similar to what a dividend does. It keeps people engaged in the asset. That could be a thing where companies distribute income, profit back to the token holders in that kind of mechanism. Maybe you could be right about that. But staking itself, staking is supporting the validation of transactions on a network. You are a participant, right? You're not on the sidelines. You are a direct participant. Let's see. All right, NTX is on one. Can't get a damn pullback. Yeah, it will. All things pull back. Everything mean reverts, but I mean, where does it mean revert? Remember, the price, I saw the new net price get up to 22 cents. I never saw 59 cents. I don't know what the hell exchange that was. But I saw 22 cents. So what if the mean reversion is 5 cents or 10 cents? I mean, that would be the mean. Actually, it would be 11 cents, 11 to 12 cents, the mean reversion from 1 penny. So we don't know where we are until after we got there, and then we look backwards. So, yeah. Bam, you're welcome. Okay, question. Sorry for the cues. It's my first time staking my AGIX there. It's an option to choose authorized escrow as the new option. I haven't messed with it. I just leave mine there and let it continue to roll over. So I don't know what that means. Authorized escrow is probably meaning authorizing an escrow agent or some fiduciary to manage those funds for you. My guess is that by authorizing an escrow, you're allowing another person to get in there and manage your funds. Like you might have a money manager who wanted to move your money around without actually being able to take your money. He would potentially be an escrow agent. I don't know. That's the only thing I can guess, but I'm sure it's something like that. All right. 2.9 cents. Yay. Oh, well, it was over 3 cents. If we're talking about, actually, that means it sold down a little bit. Wasn't it in the 3 cent range already? Or are you talking about 2.9 cents being the bottom for AGIX? Yeah, I freaking backed up the truck. In the 3 to 4 cent range, I backed up the truck. As did my clients. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm not day trading that stuff. I'm not gonna. Here, let's leave it at this. You guys remember the story about my buddy Shane and I in Vegas? And he had 2 tens. We were playing blackjack. He had 2 tens, and he asked the dealer, "Should I split these?" So in the group, do we split 2 tens? What is the answer? Do we split 2 tens? I'm not telling anyone to go to Vegas to play blackjack. This is like what I'm saying. No. You don't cut. If you have a 10-inch you don't cut it in half. Look at that. Look at this group. This is how we know we have a good group. I say, okay, bam, 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 bam. You like losing, that's funny. Would you cut it? Yes. Oh wait, we can't show that. But yes, that was the actual quote. Okay, if you can, everybody who hasn't yet, please go throw a like. We'll keep. Do you guys like these Sundays, little Q&As, little talks, little weird cardio sermons? Then I will keep doing them for free. You'll notice there's no commercials. I don't monetize any of this crap. This is all, if you see it on the YouTubes or whatever, it's free. Ain't no commercials, and if there are, it wasn't because I served it. So the very least you could do is throw a brother a like. All right. Yeah, you are. Yes, they would. Yeah, exactly. All right. On that note, stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything that my poor, insolvent, drunk, strung it on meth grandmother wouldn't do. And I will bid you a fond adieu. We'll see you tomorrow. Digital heavyweights. For those of you that are curious about digital heavyweights, you can go to moneymorninglive.com and literally just go in the chat and say, and ask for like customer service to tell you about digital heavyweights. But you can click on there. Digital heavyweights is a service that we have, which is pretty robust, but it's 3 days a week of actual like sessions that occur at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And it's kind of a full thing. We look at markets, we look at balance and portfolios, we look at asset management, which is like the whole thing. It's a lot. It's like it's a full education. It's like going to college, but for money. Financial management college, the real one, the one that you would never actually learn in college because those people don't know anything. That's not fair to say. They know all sorts of things that are just irrelevant. All right, so it's a really cool project. I won't push that too much. Other than that, make sure that the inputs you're getting in your daily life are positive ones and not people that are like negative, douchebags, just kind of in it for themselves. Just be careful you're getting valuable information, and also, maybe assume that everyone's out to get you. So just be very careful. There's a lot of people that will pretend to be your buddy, even close family, relatives, and all this kind of stuff. And the minute you start to succeed, they are going to be so effing jealous and envious. So you got to be very careful. I would be careful on the way up, and I would be even more careful when you're up there. And you can celebrate to us. Don't celebrate to anybody else that you're winning in AI. No one wants to hear that you're winning, right? No one wants to hear that, like, John is winning, Megagor's winning, Andy's winning, Diane is winning, and I have to work this shitty job. That's not what people want. So just be mindful that a lot of people are struggling and they're having a really hard time. So yeah, I think that's the key. That might be the message of the day. Let's keep our mouths closed. Let's be quiet. Unless, of course, you find other people that might want some education. And in that case, point them over here. All right. Let me play some cool exit music, and we will call it a day. We'll see you tomorrow. Digital Heavyweights.